All right, here we go. This is a continuation of the earlier live stream that we started over on Facebook. This is a music live stream to test out the new internet connection. So the cable guy came by today and moved the position of the modem, so it's in a much more central part of the house. I'm getting much better speeds now, and I finally figured out why my computer was not able to connect to the 5G network. I had my Wi-Fi receiver plugged into the wrong USB port. Two identical ports. I thought they're both internet USB 3.0 ports, but one of them worked and one of them doesn't. So so now I'm on the 5G network, and things seem to be running very smoothly. I'm getting much higher speeds, and so just kind of giving a minute for folks to join us over here. I'm not seeing any viewers yet. I had a bunch of people who were tuned in over on Facebook, so hopefully they will be able to connect here in just a sec. Let me double check really quickly and make sure that the live connection is good. Just want to make sure that I can see myself. Okay, yeah, looks like everything is coming through on my Twitch channel. All right, and double checking that, can you guys hear me okay? I've had issues before with it changing what my default microphone settings were. So I'm trying to access my mic settings and make sure it's the right one. Okay, looks like it's good. Excellent. All right. Oh, I just got an important message. I need to quickly send something. All right. Where should we start here? Maybe something, let's start with something pretty to celebrate the much higher audio quality of Twitch as compared to, yeah, sorry about that. My microphone is right next to the keyboard. Okay, let's do something medieval. Its dear north forsake, to which with trembling reverence it doth bend. Go bid the stones the journey upwards make, go bid the ambitious flames no more to ascend, and when these false to their own motions prove, then shall I cease thee alone to love. You men's fortunes in their faces read, to find out mine, look not, alas, on me. But mark her face and all the features heed, for only there is writ my destiny. Or if stars show, it please not in the skies, but study the astrology of her eyes. If thou find there kind and propitious rays, what Mars and Saturn threaten, I'll not fear. scarce can see. To great place rule the world and her to me. That's My Fate by Abraham Cowley. Yes, I did put something in the oven. I ate right before the stream, so I ate half of my dinner, and then because I made a bunch of food, I set half of it aside. So I have food waiting for me when I'm done. Thank you for thank you for checking and reminding me, Robin. All right. I'm thinking maybe something Tolkien-esque and Sheeran-y. Oh, misty eye of the mountain below, keep careful watch o'er my brother's souls. And if the sky is filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over Durin's sons. If this is to end in fire, we should all burn together, so flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh, stand by as we will watch the flames burn on the mountainside high. If we should die tonight, we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine for the last time, calling out, Father, oh, prepare as we will watch the flames burn on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky, and I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees. I see fire following souls. I see fire, and I hope that you remember me. And should my people fall, and surely I will do the same. Confined in mountain halls, we got too close to the flame, calling out, Father, oh, hold fast as we will watch the flames burn on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky, and I see fire. The trees, I see fire following souls. I see fire. I hope that you remember me, 'cause if the night is blue, cover my eyes. If the dark returns, then my brothers will die as our sky is falling down, crashed into this lonely town. That shadow upon the ground, people screaming out. I see fire inside the mountains, burning the trees. I see fire, flowing souls. Oh yeah. So for those of my patrons who uh, noticed that I did not charge anywhere near the usual amount this month, I charged about a quarter of what I usually do. I only called in a single pledge, I believe, for the very first thing I put out at the beginning of the month because I was sick for the whole rest of the month. I couldn't do any live streams. I couldn't record any more videos. So I do not. I do not expect to get paid if I'm not working. If you feel strongly about it and are interested in donating, I believe that the tip jar on Twitch does send pretty much most of the money. I think it's about the same amount as I get. Like, I think they take a small cut, but I think it's a tiny cut, like it is over at Patreon. So it's a pretty good way of going. PayPal's another good way. It's it involves like going to a different site. So, but yeah. So those are options if you feel strongly about it. But just Skull Crusher Mountain. Oh, I don't know. That's I try not to do a lot of like the body and the wrong stuff like Joko. I mean, Joko's at the tame end of the spectrum. It really is. But I mean, I already kind of turned down one person's request for a fairly tame thing along those lines. So I would feel like a little bit of a hypocrite if I turned around and did Skull Crusher Mountain right now. When I do the patron only stream, I'll probably be a little bit more relaxed about some of that stuff. I've actually been meaning to do a sort of promotional thing for patrons of like a live stream where it's just that kind of stuff. So hopefully before the new year I'll find a good time to do that. It's something that I've been planning on for a while. But yeah. So I'm, medieval stuff is cool, Irish stuff is cool, modern stuff is cool. I'm kind of trying to lean away from the Joko and the Stephen Lynch tonight. So apologies, but okay. So what else? While we're on Ed Sheeran, I think I might do a couple more of his. I've been liking the Sheeran right now. I'm really liking this one, the 18. I think I've played this a couple of times on the live streams previously. I really like it. Just give me 1 second. Snowflakes, burnt lungs, sour taste. Lights gone, days in, struggling to pay rent, long nights, strange rent. They say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream, in this way since 18. But lately the face seems slowly sinking, wasting. Worst things in life come free to us, which is just under the upper hand. Goes mad for a couple grams. She don't wanna go outside tonight. Sing a pipe, she'll fly to the motherland and sell love to another man. It's too cold outside. Angels fly. Angel to fly. Gloves, raincoat, trying to swim and stay afloat, dry house, wet clothes. Loose change, banking notes, weary eyes and dry throat, cold girl, no when they say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream, in this way things in life come free to us, 'cause she's just under the upper hand. Goes mad for a couple grams. She don't wanna go outside tonight. In the pipe she'll fly to the motherland and sell out to another man. It's too cold outside. Angels to fly. Angel light, covered in white, with closed eyes and hoping for a better life. And this time we'll fade out tonight, straight down the line, straight down the line. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And they say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream. Been this way since 18, but lately her face seems slowly sinking, wasting, crumbling like pastries, and they scream the worst things in life come free to us, 'cause we're all under the upper hand. Go mad for a couple grams. We don't wanna go outside tonight, 'cause in the pipe we'll fly to the motherland and sell off to another man. It's too cold outside, angels to fly, angels to fly, 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 angel to fly, to fly, to fly. It's another Ed Sheeran, the A-Team. Very pretty song, but some very dark subject material. But I really like it. It's a lot of fun to play. It's I really like the chord progression on that one. Speaking of which, so I'm going to do one more Sheeran before we push on to other things. This is one that I know I've been requested on previous streams, but I wasn't able to do it because I didn't have a version that I could play live. The only way I was able to do it was to break it up into little pieces into a studio version. I've been working on it a little bit. I'm not sure it's 100% yet, but I think it's ready to start stress testing in front of people. So I can't remember who requested it before, but hopefully they'll catch it this time around. This will be Castle on the Hill. I was 6 years old, broke my leg. Was running from my brother and his friends. Tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down. I was younger then. Take me back to when I found my heart and I broke it here. Made friends and lost them through the years, and I've not seen the roaring fields in so long. I know I've grown. I can't wait to go home. I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to Tiny Dancer, and I miss the way you make me feel. In Israel we watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. 16 years old, smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, from off the backfields and getting drunk with my friends. Had my first kiss on a Friday night. I don't reckon I did it right. I was younger then. Take me back to when we found weekend jobs and we got paid. We'd buy cheap spirits and drink them straight. Me and my friends have not grown up in so long. Oh, how we've grown. I can't wait to go home. I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to Tiny Dancer, and I miss the way you make me feel. And it's real, we watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. Whoa, over the castle on the hill. One friend left so close, one works down by the coast, one had 2 kids but lives alone, one's brother overdosed, one's already on his 2nd wife, one's just barely getting by. These people raise me and I can't wait to go home, and I'm on my way. I still remember these old country lanes. We did not know the answer, and I miss the way you make me feel. And it's real, we watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. Oh, over the castle on the hill. Whoa, over the castle on the hill. Well, a big thank you to Gypsy Diner. Thank you, Robin, for the tip. Very much appreciated. That will easily pay for the booze that I'm consuming during this live stream. All right. Wow, got a lot of 3D seers on tonight. Man, I miss you guys. Great Western War was awesome. Even though I got sick at the tail end of it, like, I had such a good time. It was probably one of the better Great Westerns this year. Oh, man. Seeing the SpaceX launch at the end of that was just like... It was the icing on the cake for that event. That was so cool. Alright, I'm not seeing any requests at the moment. I think I filled all the ones that were made over on Facebook. So... Let's see, what shall we do next? There's been a couple of modern ones in a row. Maybe we'll go over and do something a little bit more folky. Ooh, maybe the Gray Selkie. That's a good one. Now, what do I have? There's one of these I've got to drop down. I think it's that one. That's right. I think I keep with this up like 1 or 2. I think it's 2. Here I sit and here I sing, and wait the night that's closing. Little know I my bairn's father, farless the land that he dwells in. He came one night into my bed. Both rough and smooth was he, saying, will you take me for a lover? For your husband I never can be. For I am a man upon land, silky on the sea. And when I'm far, far from land, my aim, it isn't so scary. It shall come to pass on a summer's day, when the light shines down on every stone, I'll come to fetch my little son and teach him to swim all in foam. But a fine young man you shall marry, a fine young man I'm sure he'll be. The very first time he goes a-hunting, he'll shoot my little son and here I sit and here I sing, and await the night that's closing in. Little know I'm my bairn's father, but it's with him my sorrows did begin. It's the gray sulky. Alright, back into standard tuning. So now we're gonna switch guitars here for a second to fill a request of Dark Eyed Molly. Deep and dark where my true love lies, blacker still is winter's turning. But the sadness of parting proves brighter now is the lanterns burning. No fiddle tune can take the air, but I'll see her swift feet dancing, and the swirl of her long brown hair her smiling face and her dark eyes glancing. As we stepped all bling bonny fair, and if my reading prove in vain, I will pack and track ever take me, and the long road will ease my pain. No gem of womankind will make me. They whisper love's words again, for in drink I'll keep good company. My ears will ring with the tavern's laughter. I'll hear not her last sweet sighs. Who's to know in the morning after? I long for her dear dark eyes. It's Archie Fisher's Dark-Eyed Molly. Of course, the version I know is Stan Rogers, naturally. All the best things come from Stan Rogers. I don't know why I'm switching back guitars before I even know what I'm going to be playing next. It's just force of habit, I guess. Let's see. We did that one. Done that one. Oh, maybe Belfast Mill. Feeling the flat picking. Into town, at the foot of a hill, there's a chimney so tall, it's called Belfast Mill. But there's no smoke at all coming out of the sack, since the mill has shut down and is never coming back. And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. We've been spin, we've been spin. The only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. We've been spin, we've been spin. There's no children playing in the dark narrow streets, since the looms have shut down. So quiet I can't sleep. The mill has shut down and it's the only life I know. Tell me, where will I go? Tell me, where will I go? And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. We've been spin, we've been spin. And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. We've been spin, we've been spin. Tell me, where will I go? I fly and die. For the mill has shut down and it's the only life I know. Tell me, where will I go? Tell me, where will I go? And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. We've been spin, we've been spin. And the only tune I hear is is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. And the only tune I hear is the sound of the wind as she blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. Yes, that may very well have had something to do with the bottle of whiskey. But, oh god, the weaving pants. Weave some pants if you want to. So I'm debating trying to play something that is probably not ready to be playing for people yet. So this weekend I worked on a different arrangement of a song that I've been playing for forever and got it nice and solid. And then the next day I went and did a recording session of it. And so that's like this week's new thing on the for my top tier patrons on the YouTube channel. However, I think it might need more practice before it's ready to actually be played in front of people, because it's got some really difficult bits in it that if I've been playing it like 5 times in a row, I can get a clean playthrough of, but just sort of pulling it out of my hat when I haven't just been playing it, when I've been playing other stuff, I kind of have an impression that I'm probably going to screw it up. And it's one of those things where I don't know if it'll be the recoverable sort of screw up. Like some songs you miss a little bit and you can just sort of like keep up with the tempo. You gloss over a mistake, but I'm not sure that I'm quite there yet on this. So I'm kind of debating giving it a try, just to see how it goes trying to play it in front of people. But yeah, I'm not sure about it. So, oh, hang on a sec. Let me close that. Oh, I'll be right back. Just realized that it's dark outside. Let's see if I can remember. How's that bit go? All right. All right, I'll give it a shot. I may not be able to finish this song. Like I may hit the bridge and then that'll be it if it crashes and burns, but I'll give it a try. Just take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can take the sky from me. Take me out to the black, tell 'em I ain't coming back. Burn the land, boil the sea. You can take the sky from me. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. You can take the sky from me. It's a short version. The version I recorded is like an extended version. It's that, and then it does like an instrumental bridge, and then it repeats the song again because it's such a short little song. But I managed to stumble my way through the bridge without screwing up too badly, so I decided to cut my losses while I was ahead. Hopefully by the time I'm like getting to my next event, that'll be solid enough that I'll be able to sing it comfortably. But that went pretty well. Hero of Canton. Well, I've done the one, I kind of have to do the other now, don't I? Jane, the man they called Jane. He robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor, stood up to the man and he gave him what for. Our love for him now ain't hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they called Jane. Well, Jane saw the mutters' backs breaking. He saw the mutters lament, and he saw the magistrate taking every dollar and leaving 5 cents. So he said, you can't do that to my people, can't crush them under your heel. Jane strapped on his hat, and in 5 seconds flat, stole everything Boss Higgins had to steal. Robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor, stood up to the man and he gave him what for. Our love for him now ain't hard to explain. The hero of Canton, and they called Jane. Now this is what separates heroes from common folk like you and I. The man they called Jane, he turned around his plane and let that money hit the sky. He dropped it into our houses, he dropped it into our yards. The man they called Jane, he stole all our pain and headed back out to the stars. Here we go! He robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor, stood up to the man and he gave him what for. Our love for him now ain't hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jane. I want to go to the crazy town where I'm a hero. Oh, this glass needs a top up. Unfortunately, this can still has some in it. Man, with as much Kilkenny as I drink on camera, I should really get, like, subsidized by them. It's something for, like, paid product placement or something. That would be lovely. Sadly, I have no idea how to go about doing that. Alright, I'm seeing a request there. Something about he done her wrong and she got her revenge. I think I know something kind of like that. Unless it's like a specific song that has those lyrics in that you're looking for. Like, I'm getting the impression that it's just a general genre of song. This one's less, the one that I'm thinking of is less a revenge song and more sort of an empowered agency kind of song. It's more like people trying to do her wrong and she totally gets the better of them. There is a young maiden, she lives all alone. She lives all alone by the shore. Oh, there's nothing she can find to comfort her mind but to roam all alone by the shore, shore, shore. But to roam all alone by the shore. Oh, was a young captain who sailed the salt seas. Let the wind blow high, blow low. I will die, the young captain did cry, if I don't have that maid on the shore, shore, shore. If I don't have that maid on the shore. Oh, I have lots of silver, I have lots of gold, I have lots of costly ware. Oh, I'll divide with my jolly ship's crew, if they'll row me that maid on the shore, shore, shore. If they row me that maid on the shore. Oh. With much persuasion they got her Here's adieu to all sorrow and care, care, care. Here's adieu to all sorrow and care. They replaced her away in his cabin below. Let the wind blow high, blow low. She's so pretty and neat, she's so sweet and complete. She sung captain and sailors to sleep, sleep, sleep. She sung captain and sailors to sleep, oh. Then she robbed him of silver, she robbed him of gold, she robbed him of costly ware, oh. And she took his broadsword instead of an oar, and she paddled her way to the shore, shore, shore. And she paddled her way to the shore, oh. Oh, me men must be crazy, me men must be mad, me men must be deep in despair, oh. For to let you away from my cabin so gay, and to paddle your way to the shore, shore, shore. And to paddle your way to the shore, oh. Oh, your men be not crazy, your men be not mad, your men be not deep in despair, oh. I deluded your sailors as well as yourself. I'm made once again on the shore, shore, shore. I'm made once again on the shore, oh. There is a young maiden, she lives all alone. She lives all alone on the shore, oh. There is nothing she can find to comfort her mind, but to roam all alone by the shore, shore, shore. But to roam all alone by the shore, oh. That's Maid on the Shore. Again, another one that I don't think is by Stan Rogers, but I know via Stan Rogers, because he does a cover of that one. It's the first place that I've heard it. But apparently it's like an older song, because I've heard other similar folk versions of it from, I think, older sources. Oh, big thanks to Fields of Athenry for that tip. I somehow missed it when it popped up. I think I might have been looking off camera and didn't see it. I can see it up top there now. As the last tip that was that came in, but I missed it when it usually there's like a little notification like up here that pops up, and I guess I just missed it. So thank you very much. Oh, you're very welcome. Happy to do any other requests that people have, provided they fit the usual bill and don't want to stray too much in the direction of wrong songs. But if you've got anything medieval, modern, folky, Irish, any of the above, happy to play them. In the meantime, what shall we do? Maybe, while we're on this kind of note, maybe, Blackjack Davy. Squire come home, inquiring for his lady. Some denied and some replied, she's going away a Blackjack Davy. Settle up for me the bunny brown steed, the grey was never speedy. I'll ride all day and I'll ride all night, bring the Blackjack Davy. But he rode hills and rolled down dales for many a wild high mountain, and they did say they saw him go. Blackjack Davy, he is hunting. He rode east and he rode west, all through the morning early, till he spied his lady fair, cold and wet and weary. Why did you leave your house and home? Why did you leave your baby? Why did you leave your own wedded lord? Oh, with a Blackjack Davy. But he rode hills and rode down dales for many a wild high mountain, and they did say they saw him go. Blackjack Davy, he is hunting. Goes feather bed, and the sheets turned down so bravely, when I can sleep on the cold hard ground along with me Blackjack Davy. Now I'll kick off my high heel shoes made of the Spanish leather, and
I'll put on my lowland brogues and skip it o'er the haller. I rode up hills and rode down dales for many a wild time and then, and they did say I saw him go. Blackjack Davy, he is hunting. Oh, Blackjack Davy, he is hunting.
It's the Blackjack Davy. You know, I don't recall where I first heard that song. I think that's my own arrangement of it. I don't think normally I think that's played as a very much slower, prettier song. Oh, I don't think I know that one well enough to sing it. Maybe. I kind of know it, sort of. Like, I've listened to it a bunch of times, but it's been a long time. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't remember the I don't remember the tune from the verses well enough. You know what? I'll look that one up, and hopefully I'll be able to pick that up for next live stream. Because yeah, it's been too long since I've heard this one. I remember the chorus, and that's about it. But I know that the tune changes a little bit in the verses. So, apologies. I really need to listen to more Steel Eye Span again. Like, Steel Eye Span is something that I listened to them a bunch when I was first getting into the SCA and when I was first kind of learning guitar. I listened to Steel Eye Span all the time, and they've kind of fallen out of my playlist for a long time, but it's really good stuff. It's very very different folky stuff, you know? It's not your typical fare, kind of electric folk. I don't know if there's any more electric folk than them. I mean, they sort of are a genre in and of themselves. But very cool. Let's see, I'm feeling something maybe like up tempo or medium tempo. I'm kind of liking the trend that we've been on in the last couple of songs of people kind of I guess agency of people who are it's sort of looking like they're going to be mistreated or have been mistreated by people and then kind of get their comeuppance. So maybe Arthur McBride is another good song like that. I have to remember how this. Let's open in C.
Had a first cousin, one of the McBride. He and I took a stroll down by the seaside to seek out good fortune and what might betide. 'Twas just as the day was a dawning, laughed our rest and we both took a tramp. We met Sergeant Harbour and Corporal Graham aside the weed runner who beat up the camp. There's rowdy now in the morning. He said, my young fellows, if you would enlist, the 10 guineas a quickly shall have in your fist, as well for a crown, or to kick off the dust, and to drink the king's health in the morning. For a soldier, he leads a very fine life, and he always is blessed with a charming young wife, and he pays all his debts without sorrow or strife, and he always lives happy and charming. The soldier, he always is neat and he's clean, in the finest of garments he's constantly seen, while other poor beggars go dirty and mean, and they sup on thin gruel in the morning. Says Arthur, I wouldn't be proud of your clothes, for you've only the loan of them, so I suppose, and you daren't not change them one night, or you know, you're sure to be flogged in the morning. We seem now to be single and free, we all take great delight in our own company, and we have no desire strange country trees to see. Although that your offer is charming, we have no desire to take your advance. For hazard and danger we'd not take the chance that you'd have no scruples and you'd send us to France, where you know we'd be killed in the morning. He says, my young fellows, if I hear one more word, I instantly now will out with my sword, and into your bodies as strength will afford. So here, my gay devils, take warning. Well, Arthur and I, we took in the odds. We gave them no chance for to launch out their swords. Our whacking shillelaghs came over their heads, and we paid them right smart in the morning. As for the wee drummer, we rifled his pouch, and we made a football of his rowdy now, and into the ocean for Draken to row, and we baited a tedious returning. As for the two rapiers that hung by their sides, we flung them as far as we could in the tide. To the devil I bid you, cried Arthur bride, to temper your steel in the morning. My halfers cousin ran off the McBride, and I took a stroll down by the seaside, to seek out good fortune and what might betide the day it was Christmas morning.
Ooh, that's another great example. The White Hart's Prey. I think I remember how to play that one. Oh, right, Blackmore's Night. That's another great band. You're right, the Steel Ice Band kind of has a lock on that genre, though. Let's see, how does this go? Where do I keep with this? I'll keep it too low.
Wings span wide and strong, the prey we spy will come to die before the day is long. Oh, the white but fast and fleet doth flee, I give chase with glee, and never run I ride upon the scent of my quarry, my hunting hound runs swiftly. A flash of white within the thickened wood catches my eye, upon the wind I sound my horns, through the woods we fly. The trees seem near mine, as if they'd bar my way. French nor we could I pay that follow fast my parade. For the White Hart fast and fleet doth flee, I give chase with glee, and never on I ride upon the scent of my quarry, where my hunting hound runs swiftly. Chases led me and my prey down to the water side. Hard his track he stands at bay with nor left behind. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there go the words.
His coat is flecked with foam, his eyes are filled with fear. My bow arm strong, my arrow song rings jubilant and clear. O'er the White Hart fast and fleet doth flee, and I give chase with glee, and never run I ride upon the scent of my quarry, my hunting hound runs swiftly. But lo, when I set down my bow, my heart within me sank. Though through my aim no wound I saw, neither neck nor flank. I bent my bow again, when I loosed my dart, before my eyes a promised prize was never more hard. For the White Hart fast and fleet doth flee, I give chase with glee, and never run I ride upon the scent of my quarry, where my hunting hound runs swiftly. A beast no longer now, man with beard down to the ground, robes of ivory white he stands, stock still without a sound. The staff coal black and French, like the antlers of a deer, rises from the sage's hand, the spellbound I draw near. For the white hart fast and fleet doth flee, I give chase with glee, and never run. I ride upon the scent of my quarry, for my hunting hound runs swiftly. Oh, you who seek to warn me by stealing from the wood, a harmless beast of beauty, would you slay if there you could? No mercy do you bear, and kindness have you not, so you shall flee the bloodthirsty and share victims a lot. For the white hart fast and fleet did flee, you gave chase with glee, so evermore you'll fly before the bows of men like thee, for your hunting hound runs swiftly. Now I am white hart fast I flee, you give chase with glee, but where you all my downfall, as you become like me, for your hunting hounds run swiftly.
It's one of Ambra's. That's Samantha Moore wrote that one. She does a couple of them that have that kind of theme to them. There's a great one that I can't remember that's about, I think about a sorceress that turns somebody into a boar. Another one of those sort of like transformational songs. That very similar theme. It's another great song. I really need to bust out the album that I got from her that has those on it, and learn some more of her stuff. She's got another great one that I used to know called Firefly, that I can't for the life of me remember now. I really need to relearn some of it. Let's see what's next. I don't think we've got any outstanding requests right now. I'm kind of feeling Stan Rogers-y. Sing something Canadian. Ooh. Something sounding a little out there. Oh, yeah, it's a low E. That's better.
Once again with the ties she slips her lines, turns her head and comes away, where she lays so still there at Privateer's Wharf, as she quickly gathers way. She will arrange for herself from the harbor mouth, rejoice in every wave. Who will know the blue nose in the sun? Feel her bow rise free of Mother Sea in a sunburst cloud of spray. It swings the cheek while the rigging will speak, a sea miles gone away. She is always best under full press, hard over Richey Bay. Who will know the blue nose in the sun? Who will know the blue nose in the sun? The proud-faced queen of the Grand Banks, fleet portrayed on every dime. No hard work in her time, hard work in every line. Richmond's toys, the Gloucester boys, their token bit of cod, snap their spars and strain to pass her by. But she left them all behind. Now her namesake daughter remains to show what she's been. What every schoolboy remembers will not come again. To think she's the last of the Grand Bank schooners fed so many men. Who will know the blue nose in the sun? Who will know the blue nose in the sun? How does she not take wing like a living thing, child of the moving tide? See her pass with grace on the water's face, clean and quiet pride. Our own tall ships of great renown still lift them to the sky. Who will know
a song called The Blue Nose. If it wasn't already very much apparent. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. How do I see? I remember there's a way I can see who's actually. Oh, there we go. Oh, we've still got a bunch of people. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. All right. While we're on Stan Rogers, unless there's another request that people have that they want to hear, I'm gonna sing another.
It's not the house John watch, it's not the work I mind so much. Long cold miles to my lover's touch, oh sure she's far away. No stranger I, the touch of steel, and the honest fear any man can feel. But I long for dust under my heels and a pocket full of pain, so I'll take it from day to day. Pack ice around us, cracks and groans. The old St. Rock, she creaks and moans. The icy fog is in my bones. The ache won't go away. Outside, I bet it's warm and fair. I could have her fingers in my hair. It's long, cold miles to her out there, so I guess I'll have to stay and just take it from day to day. We're as far north now as I want to come. Larson's got us under his thumb, and I signed up for the whole damn run. I can't get off halfway. When I get back into the shore, I'm going south where it stays warm. There'll be someone on my arm to help me spend my pay, so I'll take it from day to day. We're as far north now as I want to come. Larson's got us under his thumb, and I signed up for the whole damn run. I can't get off halfway, but when I get back into the shore, I'm going south where it stays warm. There'll be someone on my arm to help me spend my pay, so I'll take it from day to day. Stranger I, the touch of steel, and the honest fear any man can feel. But I long for dust under my heels, a pocket full of pain, so I'll take it from day to day.
Let's Take It From Day to Day by Stan Rogers. So how is the connection for you guys? Last time I did a stream, there was a lot of graphic artifacts, a lot of pixelization, a lot of lag. Are you encountering any of that? It's feeling to me like it's a very smooth live stream. Like at my end, there doesn't seem to be any of those issues. Although I know that there's some difference between the sending end and the receiving end. So let me know what the experience has been like for you tonight. Like I'm curious to see how big of a difference. Excellent. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Like the moving that modem closer seems to have fixed a lot of problems. That and switching over the 5G. I just got such faster speeds. So this bodes well. This bodes well for future live streams. So hopefully our next the next one, which will be a patron-only live stream on the. Is it on the 15th? I think it's on the 15th that I set it for. Fingers crossed that that one goes as smoothly as tonight has. Alright, what should we do next? What have I not done very much of? I don't think I've done a ton of like period songs tonight. I think I've only done a couple of them. So maybe one of those. Oops. Oh, my fingers have forgotten that bit. There we go.
What then is love but mourning? What desire but a self-burning? Till she that hates doth love return. Thus will I mourn, thus will I sing. Come away, my darling. Beauty is but a blooming, youth in his glory entombing. Time hath a while which none can stay. So come away while I thus sing. Come away, my darling. Summer and winter fadeth, gloomy night, heavenly light shadeth. Like to the morn are Venus flowers, such are her hours, then will I sing. Come away, my darling. Such are her hours, then will I sing. Come away, my darling.
For some reason, my fingers had a blind spot for the transition to that E. They were always wanting to go to the D instead, which is really not right. But that's why we practice. That's why we should have been practicing this last month, even when sick. But it is difficult to get the energy to pick up a guitar when you're feeling like crud. All right, we've got a request for Trois Corbies. I'm happy to do that one. I like that one.
As I was walking all alone, I heard Trois Corbies mucking the main. Ta'en unto thee, they did say, oh, where so we gang and dine today, oh, where so we gang and dine today. In a hind yon old fair dyke, I wot there lies a Newsley knight, named you can that he lay there, oh, save his huck and his hound and his lady fair, oh, his huck and his hound and his lady fair. Soon his tail upon ten gain, his huck to fetch the mealful hame. His lady's ta'en another maid, oh, so we may mock or dinner swait, oh, we may mock or dinner swait. Your light on his white horse bane, and idle pike out his bonny blue wane. Well, lock o' scout and harrow, o' the car nest when Nick was bare, o' the car nest when Nick was bare. There's many a one for him ox main, mainsail can where he is keen. His white beams when they lay bare, oh, the winds that'll blow forevermore. Oh, the winds that'll blow forevermore. Winds that'll blow forevermore. Oh, the winds that'll blow forevermore. Twa Corby's a lovely period Scots song about a couple of ravens talking about eating a dead guy. Lovely and grim. Let's maybe pick things up a little bit after that. Do something maybe a little more upbeat, up-tempo, less morbid. Maybe Wagon Wheel. It's been a bit since I played that. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Oh, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Oh, rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Oh, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, 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 mama, rock me. Oh, hey, mama, rock me. Hey, mama, rock me.
is Wagon Wheel by Stone Crow Medicine Show. Am I getting that right? I almost mixed their name up. So I'm not sure which emoji you're doing. Fields of Athenry. It's displaying to me as a little square. So I don't know if you're doing something different or you're meaning to do a square, but that's all I'm seeing. Well, thank you for singing along. That song is best when you get like a whole group of people singing along with the chorus. That's one of my favorite ones to sing like anywhere, whether it's playing out at a pub or playing at an SCA event. I love that song. Yes, I have already done. I've already done the Belfast Mill earlier on. You missed it by about 20 minutes, I think. I think I did that about that long ago. No need to apologize. I was curious as to what it was, whether it's The only thing I hear as I do my gypsy dance is Stephen at his loom, weaving pants. What should we do? Yeah, it occurs to me I haven't picked up my drum yet today. Probably should. And do at least one. Oh. I have no idea whether this is like what the skin's like on this. I haven't picked it up in a month. I should probably turn a little bit so the drum's not facing directly into the mic. And it's go, boys, go. Build time every breath. And every day you're in this place. 2 days near death. But you go. Well, a process man am I. And I'm telling you no lie. I work and breathe among the fumes that trail across the sky. There's thunder all around me, and there's poison in the air. There's a lousy smell that smacks of hell and dust all in my hair. And it's go, boys, go. Though time your every breath. And every day you're in this place. 2 days near her death, but you go. Well, among the spinners, and I breathe the oily smoke. I shoveled up the gypsum, and an iron makes you choke. I stood knee deep in cyanide, got sick with caustic burn. And working rough, I've seen enough to make your stomach turn. And it's go, boys, go. They'll time your every breath. And every day you're in this place. 2 days near death, but you go. Well, there's overtime and bonus opportunities galore. And young men like their money, they'll be all come back for more. And soon you're knocking on and you look older than you should. For every bob made on the job you pay with flesh and blood. And it's go, boys, go. They'll time your every breath. And every day you're in this place. 2 days near death, but you go. Well, a process man am I, and I'm telling you no lie. I work and breathe among the fumes that trail across the sky. There's thunder all around me, and there's poison in the air. There's a lousy smell that smacks of hell and dust all in me hair. And it's go, boys, go. They'll time your every breath. And every day you're in this place. 2 days near death, but you go. A process man am I, and I'm telling you no lie. I work and breathe among the fumes that trail across the sky. There's thunder all around me, there's poison in the air. There's a lousy smell that sparks of hell and dust all in me hair. And it's go, boys, go. They'll time your every breath. And every day you're in this place. 2 days near death, but you go, boys, go. They'll time your every breath. And every day you're in this place. 2 days near death, but you go. Process Man by Great Big Sea. Our token drum song for the evening. I feel like doing something Scottish. Something Silly Wizard, specifically. So this is a song called Isle of Waters, and it's a bit thick on the Scots brogue. So for those of you who are not familiar with it, it's a song about a fellow who lives right across the river from his local pub, but he's several miles away from the nearest bridge to cross the river. So he's lamenting about how during the daytime he can pick his way across on the stepping stones to make his way across directly. But after he's been at the tavern for a few hours and it's dark and he's drunk, getting back home is a little bit more of a treacherous prospect. And he's always upset that no one wants to walk him back and make sure he gets home safely. And it's always kind of a struggle of, do I walk the several miles up and cross the bridge and several miles back, or do I risk trying to cross the river in the dark when I'm drunk? So it's now Andy Stewart is well known for his misheard lyrics. Like, he sings in a thick Scottish accent. So many songs that he's done have been so badly misinterpreted. This is the most frequently misheard. So the words of the chorus go, "If I be drunk on the Isle of Waters, how the deuce will I win hame?" So if I'm drunk in the Isle of Waters, so it's the River Isla. If I'm drunk in the Isle of Waters, how the heck am I getting home? If I be drowned in the Isle of Waters, Highway Dougie will find me in the Isle of Stream. Now, Highway Dougie is another word for the devil. So if I be drowned in the Isle of Waters, the devil will find me forever. So many people hear this as My Wee Doggy, and it makes no sense. But I'm just going to go ahead and sing this. I have funds to buy me whiskey, bonny funds that come me ain. But if I'd be too full for walking, was the man who would carry me in. And if I be drunk in the Isle of Waters, how the deuce would I win him? If I be drowned in the Isle of Waters, Highway Dougie would find me in the Isle of Stream. Till today I've crossed those waters, aye, they're bricked and clear to see. After hours of ale whose slaughter, dark and still she waits on me. And if I be drunk in the Isle of Waters, how the deuce would I win him? If I be drowned in the Isle of Waters, Highway Dougie would find me in the Isle of Stream. Like the fisher's line that's broken, leaves the salmon to the swell. Many's the night you find me soaking, or to break my line yourself. And if I be drunk in the Isle of Waters, how the deuce would I win him? If I be drowned in the Isle of Waters, Highway Dougie would find me in the Isle of Stream. Me days I will live the quarter, what and body fine things I see. If I should be down in yon water, Highway Dougie would find me in the Isle of Stream. And if I be drunk in the Isle of Waters, how the deuce would I win him? If I be drowned in the Isle of Waters, Highway Dougie would find me in the Isle of Stream. Isle of Waters by Andy M. Stewart of Silly Wizard. Oh, we've been going for a long time. Counting the Facebook live stream, is coming up on the 2 hour. Actually, just past the 2 hour mark. I think we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes now. So I figure I've got maybe another half an hour or so left in me. So if there's any requests that you guys would love to hear, be sure and toss them out now, and I'll try and get around to them before we wrap up. But we are coming into the into the ending stretch. You know, my voice is starting to get a little bit tired. My fingers are already a little bit tired. Whiskey in the jar. Okay.
As I was going over the far-famed Kerry mountains, met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. First produced my pistol, and I then produced my rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for I am the bold deceiver." Mushering the door of my dog. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted up his money, and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore she never would deceive me. What the devil take that woman for? She never can be easy. Shivering in the door of a dog. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went back to my chamber all for to take a slumber, and dreamt of golden jewels, and for sure it was no wonder. Jenny drew charges and she filled them up with water, called for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. She'll ring to my door of a dog. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Early in the morning, just before I rose to travel, up come a band of footmen and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my pistol, she'd stolen away my rapier, and I couldn't chew the water, so a prisoner I was taken. She'll ring to the door of my dog. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. They took me to the jail, said the years I would be counting, robbing Captain Farrell in the far-famed Kerry mountains. They didn't take my fist, so I struck the jailer down, and bade a fond farewell to the jailer's swollen crown. Who'd ring to my door of my dog. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If there's anyone can aid me, it's me brother in the army. If I can find a station down in Cork or in Killarney, and if he'll go off with me, we'll go roving in Kilkenny. And I'm sure he'll treat me better than me darling sporting Jenny. She'll ring to my door of a dog. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Some men take delight in the carriages rolling, and others take delight in the hurling and the bowling. But me, I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the morning bright and early. She'll ring to my door of a dog. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, she'll ring to my door of a dog. Whack full the daddy-o, full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh.
Excuse me. I appreciate you doing the chorus claps or knocks, even though I can't hear you. All right, let's see if my fingers are still sober enough for this. It should be okay. I've actually been taking it pretty light for this. This is just the very first beer and the very first rum, and it's been 2 hours stretched out over it, so it should be fine. That said, I haven't played this in a month, so.
I was 19 when it came to town, called the summer law, burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the ducks. I took a job at the steaming down on Waldron Street. I fell in love with a laundry girl, she was working next to me. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. Stay, and you wouldn't want me any other way. Round a zigzag around her face, look at how surprised, like a fox caught in the headlights, there was animal in her eyes. She said, young man, can't you see, I'm not the factory kind. If you don't take me out of here, surely I'll lose my mind. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine that I might crush her where she lay. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. We bossed around the market towns of Clifford, John and Kent. We could tinkle lamps and pots and knives wherever we went. I said that we might settle down, but if you wake us up, fire burning on the hearth and babies on the road. She said, oh man, you foolish man, it surely sounds like hell. Maybe, Lord, I have to go well, but you'll not tell me as well. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. We were camping down the Gow one time, work was pretty good. She thought we shouldn't wait for the frost, and I thought maybe we should. We were drinking more in those days, tempers reached a pitch. Like a fool I let around with the rambling edge. Last I heard she's sleeping rough back on the Derby beach, white horse in her hair pocket and a wolfhound at her feet. They say she even married once, a man named Romany Brown. Even a gypsy caravan was too much settling down. They say her flower is faded now, weather and hot booze. Maybe that's just the price you pay for the chains you refuse. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, and I miss her more than ever words could say. If I could only taste all of her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, well, I wouldn't want her any other way.
Okay, wow. I'm amazed that that went off as well as that did. Like, I haven't played it in a month, but that's probably the cleanest that I've played that through in recent memory. Like, that's probably the cleanest I've played that since I was practicing, like, drilling it night and day to get ready to do the cover for my channel. I think that working so much on the Ballad of Serenity and all the fiddly, like, little fast bits on that, like, helped me to level up my playing a little bit. Like, wow, I'm surprised that went as well as that did. Like, that was not a clean playthrough for not having practiced in a month. That was like cleaner than I usually do it. Oh, thank you so much. I don't feel like I can hold a candle on the guitar part to Richard Thompson. Like, that man is so good on the guitar. Like, he makes that stuff look easy, and it's really, really not. That's probably one of the faster songs that I know and like to play. It's probably one of the more challenging guitar pieces that I'm actually able to make it through without screwing up. When it comes to like fast singing songs, probably REM's "It's the End of the World" played at great big C speeds. So I could try doing that if you're wanting something fast. And Sadorific, I love that handle, by the way, is asking for something that includes the Fae folk. I would be happy to play something Fae themed. I have 2 or 3 different ones you could choose from. So if it's something, let's see, what do I know? So there's Of Cabbages is probably the prettiest of the 3. There's the Upon the Ninth Wave is more sort of like being angry at the Fae and taking them to task for murdering a Spaniard. And then there's True Thomas, Thomas the Rhymer, which I'm not sure how well I remember that one. I got a request for it last live stream, and I kind of like muddled my way through it. I'm not sure if I remember it better or worse now. So decide which of those you want, and I'll play it. And in the meantime, while you're deciding on that, I'm going to pull up the lyrics for End of the World, because I actually need the lyrics in front of me for this one. Because they go by really fast. What do I do for the... There's some weird little... Oh, right. I'm still in drop D. Glad I caught that before I started playing. Where do I keep with this? I think it's up like 4 or 5 maybe. Does that bit go? Okay, so this is B flat, and then so I think it's just the B flat that's the weird one that I always miss. All right, let's give this a try. Okay, do it even higher. 5. That feels about right. Let's crack my neck. It's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine. That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and aeroplanes. Lady Bruce is not afraid. I am the hurricane, listen to yourself, churn world's its own needs, don't mess of your own needs, speed it up and not speak, run, no strength with the last stretch of cloud, with fear pipe down, a wire in the fire of some games, and the government for hire in a combat site. Victor wasn't coming in a hurry, with the fear doomed down in your neck. Timothy reports, Babel Trump, Tether Crop, look at that low plane, fine then, overflow, population, common group, it it'll do, save yourself, world, its own needs, listen to your heartbeat, don't move for rapture and the reverend, the right, new vitriol, patriotic slam, pipe, bright light, feeling pretty psych. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. 6 o'clock TV hour, don't come for an hour, slash and burn, return, listen to yourself, churn, lock 'em in uniform, book burning, blood, blood, never more, vacillate, powder more, incinerate, light a candle, light a motor, step down, watch your heel, crush, oh, this means no fear, cavalier, renegade, steer clear, turn a minute, lies, offer me solutions, offer me alternatives, and I decline. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. It's time I had some time alone. Time I had some time alone. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Good night, proof the night's coming up, put your one man sit and let Leonard Bernstein lead it, crashing up, burning crystal,
I feel fine. The end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, I feel fine. There we go. Here's the fastest song I know. Alright, let me just get that off of my screen. I don't need that anymore. Ah, thanks. Oh, we're running down low on both of the glasses that I've got in circulation right now. Alright, let's see. What do we do next? Okay, I'm not seeing a definitive choice from Saderific on which phase song you would like. So, if you've got a call to make on that one, if you've got a preference out of those three, which are the... There might be one or two other ones that I know that involve the Fade, but those are the three that I can think of off the top of my head. Unless you've got a preference of which of those three you'd like to hear, I'm just going to have to pick one and run with it. And we've still got a little bit of time if anyone else has requests. Excuse me. If anyone else has requests, there's still a bit of time left to make them before we wrap things up. My voice is getting tired, my fingers are getting tired, but they're not at the breaking point yet. I actually don't remember which order I said them in. Okay, so so your choices are Of Cabbages, which is kind of a pretty nostalgic Fey folk song, or Upon the Ninth Wave, or Thomas the Rhymer. Okay, so you're saying Of Cabbages? All right. I've always been a farmer, and my heart's bound to the land. The earth's deep roots are in me blood, she answers to my hand. I grow the best darn cabbages you'll ever hope to see. And once upon a moonstruck night, I saw the dancing sheep. Their music came before them, and it drew me from me bed. Like cold wine on the breeze, and got inside me head. It made me drunk and sober both, it made me sing and cry. It made me want to weep and dance, and dream that I could fly. And then they came, so wondrous bright. Oh, I missed a verse. And then their voices caroling, like bells, like birds, like rain. In words I almost understood, in joy too near to pain. Their song was like the ones you hear in dream but can't recall, that fill your mind in slumber, but with dawn you lose it all. And then they came, so wondrous bright, so quite beyond compare, with starshine in their eyes and silver roses in their hair, wrapped in an aching beauty sweet and bitter, crystal bright, beauty that you fear to see, but fear to lose the sight. I saw them at their dancing, leaping air and silver flame. And conscious, all too conscious of my clumsy mortal frame, I watched them at their dancing, light-footed, filled with grace. With me legs of wood and feet of lead stood rooted to me place. I am a farmer, bound to earth, I know what I do well. I'm mortal and I'm common, like the cabbages I sell. There's virtue in a cabbage, even elves eat, I suppose. But once, just once, I wish that I could grow a silver rose. That's of cabbages. It's the words are by Mercedes Lackey, the author, and the music is by Leslie Fish. It's one of my favorite songs. It's I heard that for the first time maybe 15 years ago, sitting around the campfire. Heard someone sing it at an SCA event, and I fell in love with it on the spot and learned it as soon as I could, and it's been in my repertoire ever since. A lot of the time, songs sort of work their way through my repertoire. Like I'll play them a bunch, and then I'll get kind of tired of them, and I won't play them so much for a year or two, and then I'll start playing them again. Of Cabbages is one of those ones that stayed in my repertoire ever since I've learned it and hasn't budged. You know, it's something that I probably play at least once every event. Ogun. Sure, it's spelt O-G-U-N. I could do Lament for Ogun. I think I keep this one up at 3, maybe? Oh, dropping stuff. If we were at an SEA event right now, we'd be looking for that in the grass. I really need to get some, like, picks that don't blend in. Like, this is a blue pick, but against the green grass at nighttime, need to get, like, some bright orange picks or something. Something obnoxiously loud that I can see when I drop in the dark. Actually, before I forget, I want to share something with you guys. So this is going to take me just a sec to find. So the song that I'm about to sing, The Lament for Ogun, I wrote for a family of professional blacksmiths. And not just professional blacksmiths, but also ritual blacksmiths. Their smithing is not only their livelihood, but also their faith. They actually, believe and pay homage to Ogun, who is the Loa, the African god of smithing, of fire, of technology, of industriousness. So I had written this song for them after spending a couple of months of sort of going around to different events with them and learning a little bit about sort of what they're all about. I'm not a particularly religious fellow. I would say I fall somewhere between agnostic and atheist, but I'm very interested in faiths and religions. And theirs is a very interesting one. I didn't really know very much about the African religions. I didn't know about very much about the actual practice of American voodoo, which is sort of a blending of Christianity and the African faiths. So I learned all about that stuff, or a little about that stuff, enough about that stuff to be able to write a song about some of it. And they were very enthusiastic about the song when I wrote it for them. And the head of the household actually forged me a sword in thanks. And I don't bring this with me to events anymore because I'm usually, like, since I've got more garb and I've got, like, more clothing to bring with me, I'm always teetering right on the edge of how much weight I can pack into my bag. So
something ornamental like a sword that it's a 2 or 3 pounds of steel that I can't really afford to have in my bag, so I never bring it to events, so I never show it to anybody. So I want to share this with you guys. This is probably the best gift that I've ever been given in exchange for a song. So this is a hand forged saber. Try and get all of this in the shot. So it's a high carbon steel. It's a small light blade. I'm not a particularly big beefy guy, so it's about the right size and weight. It's got a very nice balance. Hold up very close for you to see. But yeah, this is the sword that was gifted to me in thanks for writing a song in tribute to their god. So, yeah, there's an opportunity that I had never really thought of, being able to share stuff with you that I have at home but don't really bring to events with me anymore. Yeah, it's a bunch of weight that I can't really afford to have in my bag. Half of the time I don't even bring my coronet to events, just because I'm trying to bring enough clothing to get through the events. But also I just, I don't want to lose it. I don't want it to get damaged or I've never really had a problem with getting it through customs, but there's always the worry in the back of my mind. So that beautiful piece of work was done by the late great Little John of House of Steel. He passed away. It's going to be a year and a half, maybe 2 years. He's a very good friend of mine, and this song can be a little emotional for me sometimes now, because whenever I sing it, it reminds me of him. So if I tear up or I choke up in it, that's the reason. I'm already doing a little bit. Have to forgive that.
Under the hammer of sun on our backs, on the anvil of earth we were made. Our bodies are crafted by toil on the land, lacking simplest of tools for our trade. Without hammer or plowshare or blade, when the evening came, we all fled to our homes, where our youngest would tremble and weep. For the night was the time of the lion and wolf, and to them we were no more than sheep. And the beast came for us in our sleep. Ogun heard our cries as he worked at his forge, and he turned thoughtful eyes to our plight. And with one calloused hand grabbed a brand from the fire, for to bring us the flame and the light, for to draw back the veil of the night. At the mountain he taught us to dig for black iron, and to craft it with hammer and hand. Now with tools for the farm we were lords of the field, and with spearheads the lords of the land. And the beasts would soon learn to fear man. But for some, the land's bounty was never enough, and we turned greedy eyes to our king. And the gifts of the gods would be warped by our hands, for the greed and the glory of men. Damn the pride of the kingdoms of men. We sharpened the tools that we'd used in the fields, and we harvested men like the grain. With the gifts of Ogun we let out their bright blood, and we watered the fields like the rain. With each death we sang out Ogun's name. Ogun heard those cries as he looked from his forge, with disgust at the carnage we'd wrought. For in that fear we become fear itself, tenfold worse than the beast we had fought, and undone all the good he had sought. Ogun's hammer he cast from his hand to the dust, and he let the fires cool on the hearth. To the forest he left, with a curse on his lips, for the men who corrupted his worth, who now bury their kin in the earth. We return from our battles, our victory sweet, but to find that our fires had grown cold, and our fields had lain fallow while we were away. We had nothing to eat but the gold that we'd robbed from our neighbor's fold. With the maker now gone to the forest, we found that we had not the will to rebel. Though we prayed to Ogun, while our wells remained dry, and our fields lay unplowed and untilled, and the pits of our bellies unfilled. Good friends, forget not that the strengths of Ogun are all lent you with kindness and trust, and that all you might gain from the gift that's abused in the end seldom outweighs the cost of the strength and the honor you've lost. For the spirit of a work is more precious than gold, and the blessing of craft is its boon. All the glory and wealth of the kingdoms of men are all dust without the sweat of Ogun. For the spirit of work is Ogun. For the spirit of work is Ogun. It's the Lament for Ogun, an original piece written for the House of Steel. Oh dear. Please don't buy so many guitar picks that it overloads my bags and I can't actually take them back home with me. Alright. Oh, the fingers are definitely starting to feel this. I did a number of them on Saturday. A number on them. That just plugging away for so many hours on those like fast little noodly bits on the Ballad of Serenity, just it tore them up. They are not used to that kind of workout after like a month of not playing. Oh, wait, I don't know if it's got it written. So the ones that I'm using are 1.14 millimeter. They're the quite thick ones. I like a nice firm pick. Oh, thank you very much. Did 2, 3. Is it the steel? Oh, I don't know what you're saying there. Under 2, 3 eyes? It's sometime soon. I'll wrap things up soon. I'm not going to play to the point that I hurt myself. I never do. That's one thing that these live streams are really good for, is helping me to keep on gauge and to always stop before I'm starting to, push the boundaries. I have a lot of catching up to do on my recording in the next couple of weeks, so I'm definitely not going to overtax my voice. Yeah. Yes. Do not overload the luggage. Alright, what do I feel like doing? What do you feel like hearing? I haven't done any songs about hanging yet tonight. That's an oversight. We'll do Sam Hall. Oh, my name is Sam Hall. Chimney sweep, chimney sweep. My name it is Sam Hall, chimney sweep. Oh, my name it is some hall, and I are all both great and small. Me neck must pay for all when I die, when I die. My neck must pay for all when I die. Oh, they took me to Good Hill in a cart, in a cart. Oh, they took me to Good Hill in a cart. Oh, they took me to Good Hill, there I stopped to make my will. For the best of friends must part, so must I, so must I. For the best of friends must part, so must I. Up the ladder I dig a rope, that's no joke, that's no joke. Up the ladder I dig a rope, that's no joke. Up the ladder I dig rope, there the hangman pulled the rope. And never a word I spoke, tumbling down, tumbling down. And never a word I spoke, tumbling down. Oh, my name it is somehow, chimney sweep, chimney sweep. My name it is somehow, chimney sweep. Oh, my name it is somehow, and I hate you one and all. You're a bunch of muckers all, damn your eyes, damn your eyes. You're a bunch of muckers all, damn your eyes. My name it is somehow, chimney sweep, chimney sweep. Oh, my name it is somehow, chimney sweep. Oh, my name it is somehow, and I rumpled great and small, and my neck did pay for all when I died, when I died. Oh, my neck did pay for all when I died.
Sam Hall, a good old jolly, happy-sounding song about hanging. I actually already did the Hero of Canton earlier tonight. I think it was probably about an hour ago or so. But yeah, if you want to see the Hero of Canton, you're just going to have to rewind a little bit and watch earlier in the stream. I will be uploading this to, provided that I remembered to, I think I remembered to hit the record button when I started. If I did that, I will be uploading this to YouTube, so if any of you missed the first half of it and want to go back and see any of it, it should be up there probably sometime later tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, I did the Hero of Canton. I also did like the fancy new version of the Ballad of Serenity. Although the recording that I did for the patrons, for the Tier 4 patrons on the weekend is much nicer. It's the extended version with the several guitar parts. I broke the guitar part, the main guitar part, up into two parts, so it excuse me. So it blends together a little bit more smoothly, and added a simple like bass line to make it sound a little bit more like the original. Yeah, it's not so much that I lose a lot of picks. It's that when I drop them, it always takes a couple of minutes to find them again, and I almost always bring spares with me, so it's not like I'm ever in danger of running out of picks at an event. It's just one of those things that's a bit of a pain in the ass when you're playing at night. You drop your pick in the grass, and then you have to bring out a flashlight and break up the rhythm of the evening. To I also did Icy Fire earlier. I can't remember whether... I think I did that on the Twitch stream. I don't think I did any of the like really sort of performance pieces or really pretty pieces on the Facebook part. Let's see, what else should we do? The recording of Jolene has not gone public. It was meant to go public like now, but I am a couple of releases behind because I was sick all last month. So it's going to be a couple more weeks before Jolene goes public. And that's not something that I'm able to play live. Like, that one was super hard, and I've since forgotten how to do it. That was a fun one to work on. I'm really looking forward to it going public. Like, that's one of the reasons why I'm so pissed off at me for getting sick and not doing my scheduled releases this last month, was because I'd really hoped to have Jolene go public like right around Halloween, but it's going to be like a month late because of that. So, sadness. Let's see, what have we not done in a bit? Well, while I'm waiting to figure out something else, something better, or to get another request in, I'm going to do something Tolkien.
Gil-galad was an elven king, him the harper sadly sing. The rest whose realm was fair and free, between the mountains and the sea. His sword was long, his lance was keen, shining helm afar was seen. The countless stars of heaven's field were mirrored in his silver shield. But long ago he rode away, and where he dwelleth none can say. For into darkness fell his star, in Mordor where the shadows are.
Something short and sweet, a little Tolkien for you. Sickness, spilled booze, bad weather, we always blame it on Sean South. One thing I definitely blame on Sean South is Three Man. Oh my god. That was an experience, playing that all day on... So for those of you who weren't at Great Western, I wound up getting sick halfway through the event. And on the first day that I got sick, I still had my voice, so I later on that evening I still went to the Beggar's Inn to do their bardic night, and I was still able to perform a bunch and sounded fine and had a good time, but I was super low energy all day. So rather than going out wandering around and playing for people in the afternoon, I just stayed in camp all day and played Three Man with a bunch of the 3DCers. And Three Man it's a drinking dice game where you make up new rules for it as you go along. The rules are constantly changing, and so we played that for it must have been 6 hours, or maybe even longer than that we were just hanging out in camp playing this stupid drinking game. But yeah, it is. I blame Sean South. I blame Sean South for that. He roped me into it. he caught me when I was vulnerable and low energy. I was not able to resist the peer pressure and wound up getting involved in nonsense. Oh, both of my glasses are empty. This will not do. I don't think I'm feeling quite ready to give up the ghost here. I don't think I've got a full beer's worth of songs left in me. I'm not going to refill my beer glass, but I am going to refill this one. Give me just a moment, and I'll be right back in about 20 seconds. Just in the background here. Pouring a tiny, tiny little splash of rum into the glass. Because the Bardic is fueled on booze. Oh yeah, no, don't drink with Sean and Justin at 5 a.m. That's a mistake. I know better than that. I didn't start until... It must have been at least 8 or 9 in the morning. Alright, what should we do next? Let's see. Maybe since we're talking about drinking games and other nonsense drinking with Sean South, let's maybe do a drinking song. Let the grasses grow and the waters flow in a free and easy way, but give me enough of that railroad stuff that's made near Galway Bay. Come Gowders all from Donegal, Sligo and Leitrim too. Oh, we'll give them a slip and we'll take a sip of the rare old Mountain Dew. Skilly-addle-diddle-dum, skilly-addle-diddle-dum, skilly-um-tam-diddle-dat-day. Skilly-addle-diddle-dum, skilly-addle-diddle-dum, skilly-am-tam-diddle-dat-day. There's a neat little still at the foot of the hill, the smoke curls up to the sky. Fire with the smell, you can plainly tell there's a pushing broom close by. Red bells again with a perfume rare, and betwixt both me and you, as
home we roll, we can fill a bowl or a bucket full of Mountain Dew. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Now learned men is used to with the praises high. Sweet machine from Ireland green, the silk from wheat and rye. Away with your pills, little carol ills, you pagan Christian or Jew. So take off your coat and grease your throat with a bucket full of Mountain Dew. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Let the grasses grow and the waters flow in a free and easy way. But give me enough of that rare old stuff that's made near Galway Bay. Come gals or salt from Donegal, Sligo and Leitrim too. We'll give them a slip and we'll take a sip of the red old Mountain Dew. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-dum, skiddly-yadda-diddle-da-day. Good old jolly one in the tradition of Irish nonsense lyric choruses. Apparently I can still sing but not talk. Oh yeah, 3DC never runs out of whiskey. I always wonder just what is done with the copious amounts of whiskey that are always left over at the end of the event. Because, I mean, we put a big dent in it during Three Men, the day after the whiskey tasting, but there was still a lot left there when we were done. I don't know what happened to it all. I imagine that it all found its way to various homes of 3DC folks. Probably original owners of the bottles probably took possession of whatever was left. Let's see. All right, we're into the home stretch now. Maybe a couple more songs, maybe 2 or 3 more songs, and then we'll wrap it up. My fingers are starting to complain. The rum has helped to numb them a little bit, but yeah, they're definitely ready to come to the end of things. So if you've got any requests that you'd like to hear before I wrap up with the last couple of songs, throw them out, and otherwise I'll just pick something. Let's see. What were some of the best whiskeys from the tasting? I'm probably the wrong person to ask. You know, I like whiskeys, I like scotches, but I wouldn't say that I've got the most refined palate for it. When it comes to the Irish whiskeys, I think my favorite's still probably Redbreast. The Redbreast 15 was really nice. When it comes to scotches, I'm a big fan of Aberlour and Glenmorangie. The Glenlivet is a nice one, if you get the right year. I forget which one is really good, but there's a really good Glenlivet there. It was one of the, I think it was the Black Barrel. I don't know. I can't remember. There was a lot of whiskey that night. What's the other one? The Balvenie is another one that I really like. Those are sort of my go-tos when they're around. Is Balvenie, Glenmorangie, and Aberlour. But I like the ones that are kind of not overly peaty. You know, they've got a hint of that peaty, smoky campfire taste, but they don't bludgeon you over the head with it. Like I don't go anywhere near Lafrague if I can at all avoid it. I think it might have been the 18 that I really liked. Northwest Passage. Ardbeg, I remember seeing Ardbeg there, but I think I may have tried that one, but I think that was more towards the peaty end, wasn't it? Is Ardbeg a peatier one? I can't remember. All right. Let's do an a cappella one, Northwest Passage. Put the guitar down for a minute. For just one time I would take a Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so white and savage, and make a Northwest Passage to the sea. Westward from the Davy Strait, 'twas where 'twas set to lie, a sea route to the Orient for which so many died. Seeking gold and glory, leaving weathered, broken bonds, and a long forgotten, lonely cairn of stones. All for just one time I would take a northwest passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so white and savage, and make a northwest passage to the sea. 3 centuries thereafter, I take passage overland, in the footsteps of brave Kelso, where his sea of flowers began. Watching cities rise before me, and behind me sink again. This tardiest explorer, driving hard across the plain. For just one time, I would take a northwest passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so white and savage, and make a northwest passage to the sea. And through the night, behind the wheel, the mileage clicking west, I think upon Mackenzie, David Thompson, and the rest, who cracked the mountain ramparts and did show a path for me to race the roaring Fraser to the sea. All for just one time I would take a northwest passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so white and savage, and make a northwest passage to the sea. And how am I so different from the first men through this way? Like them, I left a settled life, I threw it all away, to seek a northwest passage at the call of many men, to find them up the road back home again. For just one time I would take a northwest passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so white and savage, and make a northwest passage to the sea. Ooh, voice is getting a little bit fatigued there. I had to kind of correct mid-song. All right, I will do Rolling Down to Old Maui. That's the last request I'm taking for the night, because we're into our final 3. And actually, I will be right back. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break so that I'm not not rushing through these last 3 songs. So if you need to refill your drinks quickly or take a quick washroom break yourself, if you've been holding on and waiting, now is the time to do it. I will be a quick 2 minutes, and then we'll be back for the last 3 songs. So let's all go to the lobby.
And we're back. Hopefully, y'all are back from any runs to get drinks or use washroom and are here for the last request and the last couple of songs that we'll wrap up the evening with. All right. Rolling Down Old Maui was our last request for the evening.
It's a damn tough life, full of toil and strife, we whaler men undergo. And we don't give a damn when the gale is done, how hard the winds did blow. For we're homeward bound from the Arctic around to the good ship taut and free. We won't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale through the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut fronds and tropical lands we soon shall see again. 6 hellish months we've passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. But now we're bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale back to our island home. Our mainmast we're on, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. Our studs alone just carry it away, what care we for that sound? A living gale is after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. How soft the breeze through the island trees, now the ice is far astern. Them island maids, them tropical glades, so waiting our return. Even now their big brown eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see our baggy sails running for the gales, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui.
So Rolling Down to Old Maui, one of my favorite shanty or shanty-esque songs. Now, I was just going to do 2 more after that, but that's got me in the mood to play some more Stan Rogers. So I'm going to slip 1 extra song in. So 1 Stan Rogers song, then 2 goodbye songs, and then we'll wrap things up for the evening.
It's Blackfish you play from Hermitage Bay, from Bush through across Walls Island. They roach and they spun, they lift their flukes out and they wave from town. It is dying. Now it's many the boat that has relied on the phone. Haul it away, but there's many more Martha's been leaving their homes for the whales make free in the harbor. It's a portage in Maine. See them again, their way to the hills of Alberta. With lopsided grins, they waggle their chins and they brag of the wage they'll be earning. Now it's quick, pull a string, boys, and get the tool out. Haul it away, but just 2 years ago you could hear the same shout for the whales make free in the harbor. Free in the harbor, bloodfish are sporting again. Free in the harbor, untroubled by the comings and goings of men who once did pursue them as oil from the sea. Haul it away, now they're Calgary roughnecks in Hermitage Bay, where the whales make free in the harbor. It's a living they found, deep in the ground. If there's doubts, then it's best they ignore them. Hard to think of the bones, the crosses and stones of their fathers who came here before them. In the taverns of Edmonton, fishermen shout, haul it away, they left 300 years buried up by the bay, where the whales make free in the harbor. Free in the harbor, blackfish are sporting again. Free in the harbor, untroubled by the comings and goings of men who once did pursue them as oil from the sea. Haul it away, now they're Calgary roughnecks in Hermitage Bay, where the whales make free in the harbor. Free in the harbor again. It's Free in the Harbor by Stan Rogers. Just reads a couple of the comments that have showed up while I was in the middle of that. Oh, you're very welcome for the entertainment tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a really good sort of jump back into doing the live streaming again. Like, I've missed this in this last month. You know, I really do miss singing for a live audience, even if it's across an internet connection. You know, I would much prefer if I could see your faces and raise a glass with you in person and sing songs with you in person. But this is the next best thing for me. So thank you so much for coming out and joining me tonight. We're going to do a couple more, and then we'll wrap things up. Hopefully you're not too distracted by... I can hear my roommate talking on the phone out in the hallway. I don't know if it's being picked up on the microphone very loudly or not, but we're in the last couple of songs. If I was doing a recording session or so, if I was just like starting this and there was a bunch of noise out there, I'd go out and see if I could work something out with them. But we're wrapping up here, so I don't want to get in their way. All right. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you as well for coming out and joining. I miss you. I miss all of you. I miss my Penzic family, and I miss my Great Western family. I miss my Estrella family. Oh. All right. So we're gonna do 2 goodbye songs.
One of them the somewhat inappropriately, because it's the second to last song, The Last Goodbye. I saw the light fade from the sky. On the wind I heard a sigh, as the snowflakes covered my fallen brothers. I'll say this last goodbye. Night is now falling, so ends this day. The road is now calling, and I must wait. Over hill and under tree, for that never light is shown. Silver streams that run down to the sea. The cloud beneath the stars, over snow on winter's morn. I turn at last to pass the lead home. Though where the road may take me, I cannot tell. We came all this way, now comes the day to bid you farewell. Sorrows I've seen, but I don't regret, nor will I forget those who took that road with me. Night is now falling, so ends this day. The road is now calling, and I must wait. Whenever light is shown, I turn at last to pass the lead home. Though the road may take me, I cannot tell. Came all this way, now comes the day to bid you farewell. I bid you all a very fond farewell. Okay, getting a little bit into my cups. There was normally the second verse is slightly different when it comes around to the chorus, but I sang the same both ways, both times around. But it's not the end of the world. It's still a very pretty song. All right, this is going to be our last song for the night. As much as I hate to say it, my voice and fingers are getting tired. The dumb part of me that always pushes things too far wants to keep playing and wants to keep singing for like another hour because I'm having a great time. But the part of me that's responsible and knows when I've had enough is telling me it's time to wrap up, because I don't want to take myself out of action for the rest of the week. I want to get some more recording done. I want to catch up a little bit. I bailed on going out to the island this last month, and I'd really been wanting to not just to get to the event, but also to see the folks over in Seagirt, who a bunch of them I haven't seen in years and years, and I would really like to get caught up on my recordings and then make a trip over there. It might not be able to be for an event, but maybe I can set up a little Bardic or house concert or something over there and be able to see everybody and sort of make up for not getting to the event. There were several Bardic friends who were really sort of gunning to try and get me out there for this one. I was sad not to be able to make it because of being sick. So if I can get caught up, I'd like to make it up for them and make it up to them and come out for at least a visit. If I'm not able to get there for an event, at least come out and say hi and see everyone and catch up and do some singing. So the voice has got to be in good enough shape to get caught up on stuff. All right. Oh, just clear the airways. It's the trouble of drinking beer and rum while I'm singing, is that sometimes the exchange of gases are moving in the wrong direction for singing. All right. Oh, of all the money that e'er I've had, I've spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, it was to none, alas, but me. And all I've lost for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night, and joy be with you all. Oh, if I had money enough to spend, and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town, who surely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheeks, her ruby lips, ensure she has my heart in thrall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night, and joy be with you all. Oh, a man may drink and no be drunk. A man may fight and no be slain. A man may court a pretty lass, and may yet be welcome back again. But since it has so ordered been, by a time to rise and a time to fall, so fill to me the parting glass. Good night, and joy be with you all. Oh, of all the comrades that e'er I've had, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I've had, they would wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I will gently rise and softly call. Good night, and joy be with you all. Good night, and joy be with you all. Sancha. Well, with that, I'm going to wrap things up. That's all my voice can take for one night, I think. It's probably all my fingers can take for one night, too. But thank you so much all for joining me. This has been a lovely evening for me. It's great to get my hand back into doing the live streaming, into doing recording again. It feels so good to be over the sick enough to be able to start doing this again, to start spending some time with you online, do some singing, do some drinking, do some recording, start getting more music out to you. I look forward to doing more of this. We've got a Patreon-only live stream coming up on the 15th, on the Thursday. It'll be 5 p.m. I will be putting out a link for all of my patrons on probably just at the beginning of the week that it's going out on, to let you know where to go. And as per usual, provided that it's a good enough quality stream, I'll do what I'm doing now and try and capture it and upload it so that it's just going to be patrons who will be able to participate in it during and be making requests and stuff, but I'll put it out for everyone to see at some point afterwards if the quality is good. If it's a really choppy one like the last one where I was encountering a bunch of internet problems, like I'm not going to splice together 10 different pieces, but I'm really hopeful that the internet is going to be improved from here on out. Like, this was a fantastic stream tonight, like no issues on my end. I haven't seen any any disconnect problems, any latency problems, any artifacting or anything. Like it seems to have been really good. So that gives me hope that getting the internet guy in and moving the modem and getting hooked up to the 5G network, I think that's done the trick. So fingers crossed. Hopefully all of the live streams will be this good from here on out. There's no guarantee. We do the best we can, but I take this as a really good sign. So thank you all again for joining me. It's been a lovely night, and I look forward to singing again for you sometime soon. Cheers. Have a good night.